The 90th Minute Podcast is back. Lucas,
Yo.
Greg,
Hello.
and myself, Liam.
Oh my god, he's so hyped.
Yeah, I am. We're back. First podcast.
Again.
Well,
Welcome back, part 58.
pretty much at this point. I mean, first podcast for 2 weeks now, 3 weeks? This is three.
I think it's three. We
Life.
yeah,
Coronavirus, life, work, vacation, school,
everything.
holidays.
Yeah.
A lot happened. But welcome back if you are here. Welcome to the YouTube, the Spotify, the Apple, wherever you are listening to us and watching here, of course, on the video. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, follow along, leave a share, and not leave a share, leave a
share.
rate. You know
Leave
what?
a share.
Leave a rating and share is what I was trying to say. But
Thank you for being here. But
yeah,
just moving on. Let's go quick.
let's move it.
Yeah, what are we talking about today, guys?
Well, I think we should start with Team Canada
Okay.
because
We talk about the setup, like what? Celtic Park.
I mean, you can't really see much of it on the
Yeah,
actual.
we can't see Celtic Park. There's actually not much change based on
Not based on what the camera sees. They see the bottom half of Vancouver Whitecaps and a Juventus kit.
they're missing a PSG scarf, a Barcelona scarf, a Leicester kit, a Juventus kit, and a Celtic parking for Celtic
Listen.
supporters only.
Listen,
Would you look
I
at
got
that?
that for Christmas.
They can't. You're pointing at, but you
Maybe
can't
Liam
see
can
it.
send Waz the picture of that.
I got that for Christmas. Shout out to Christmas. The rest of it, I came here one day. I was like, let's do this. But we're gonna redo it. I think I got some ideas. We're gonna fix it. Don't worry.
All right. Well,
Don't worry.
We don't need Juventus. We're not Vlahovic fanboys.
I hate him, but that's why
You-
it's there.
Hate him.
I hate that man.
He hates
Never
him
seen
'cause
him
he
play
thinks
in your life.
I've seen enough of his highlights and goals to say that is
Highlights.
that's it.
What else? Are you watching Fiorentina week in,
No,
week
but
out?
I
No.
haven't judged him.
Yeah.
Overrated. Not happening. Don't worry. They spent 75 million on him, and
I mean,
they're
Mitrovic
gonna
is
get
just
nothing.
better, but that doesn't matter.
I mean, he's being compared to a championship striker, so there you go. That puts him in the
he
ballpark.
he
There you
already
go.
scored the most goals in the Serie A calendar year ever. More than Cristiano.
Sue. Now I don't know. I'm gonna call him. He's gonna flop. I mean, maybe not flop at Juve in terms of no production, but not the production that you would expect from a 75 million
Top
rated
goal
striker.
scorer in Serie A, and
That's
he's
cute.
moving.
That's cute. No.
Like, I think
I'm saying
Do
no.
you think that will help Juventus to win back the title now?
I don't know if it'll make too much. They're not going to win the title. They're no shot at the title.
Not this
There you
They're,
go.
season.
they're,
Not
they've
this
been
season.
disgraceful this season.
I mean, I know. but-
Inter's going to win the title. AC Milan might have a chance. Napoli have unfortunately fallen off a little bit due to a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
But no,
My
no
boys,
chance for
my
Juventus.
boys,
There you go.
Atalanta, not there this year.
Oh, I mean, they have had a lot of injuries as well. But Juventus, they would be happy for Champions League. That's why they've spent 75 million on
Yeah.
this guy to score goals.
Well, let's take a quick look at it. So
I-
they said Inter Milan top of the table, 53, Napoli 49, AC Milan 49, Atalanta 43, and Juve 42.
Realistically, I don't know if this is going to move the needle as much because Juventus have a problem creating chances. That's a big issue they've had. And now with Chiesa, that ACL
Yeah.
injury,
Yeah.
that's a big creative option
Yeah.
gone for them for the rest of the season. And we don't know how good he'll be when he comes back. So really, they might get a few more goals extra because of him. But if you can't,
Create,
if
you can't score.
if you can't feed the dog, not going to be happy.
Woof. I mean, Lucas, I get what you're saying.
I was
I
just
do-
gonna go with like the generic how you would actually say it, but I like it. I like it.
Can't be generic. You gotta stand out, like Vlahovic.
I'm trying to see. It doesn't tell me their top goal scorer
Although
this season.
Fiorentina fans were pissed when
They were very mad.
I mean, they should be.
they called him. There's a certain ultras that called him a certain slur.
yes.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I
former-
understand why they'd be angry, but you did get a lot of money.
I'm pretty sure former prime minister, who was a Fiorentina supporter, he was mad too. He's like, "Why do we always sell our best players to Juventus?"
And that's the thing. That's the thing is, I think that shows a lot about Serie A in terms of how it just Juve still runs that league. You could toss Inter Milan and maybe AC Milan into that conversation, but Juventus runs that league. And it's the same as Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, where You're a good player for a smaller club, and you go to Juve or you go to Bayern. It's
I think with Juventus, they've been pretty poorly run for the last handful of years. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's the case. But you have to look at it in the context that Fiorentina, I think their annual revenue was around 80 million euros or something last year or something.
Just doubled it, yeah.
And they literally, yeah.
Yeah, for
A lot of money.
Business wise,
It's fantastic.
It's a good bit of business.
But to lose a player like that, it's sad.
It's back.
Yeah, that there you go. There's a flash in the pan that I could see happening again here. You have 1 or 2 great seasons. You look fantastic, and then it's never mind. He's done nothing since.
They're different.
No. I'm telling you.
You tell me a lot of things, and you're right maybe 10% of the
I
time.
disagree. I'm right pretty much all
I
the
kind of
time.
gotta agree with Lucas
No.
here.
100% of the time, I'm right all the time.
What about Chelsea?
What about Chelsea?
For last year's predictions, you said of Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't think I was. I don't think I was.
Golden Boot winner.
I don't think I was the only one that predicted that, though.
Confident.
Last year you were. Last year you were the only one that predicted Chelsea.
Yeah.
That was when Lampard was still manager.
Maybe not Super Frank. He's gonna come back. Don't you worry. Up the toffees.
And going back to Everton, or not back to Everton.
Back to the Prem.
Yeah, back to the Prem. What do you think about him winning Everton?
Not confirmed yet at the time of recording, but very, very likely. Frank Lampard to Everton. I don't like that move. If I'm completely honest with you. I think that the Everton job is such a mess right now with transfers and backroom issues, and just the club seems to be a mess.
Well, Wayne Rooney turned it down.
Fair enough. I think he did the right move. I think he has a really good thing at Derby County going, even with all the financial issues.
It's a mess.
Issues,
if they can avoid relegation,
it's a good team there at Derby County.
Well, they could still get relegated. They could still cease to exist.
It'd be so bad if that happens, because actually he's done a fantastic job at Derby County. But to finish on Frank Lampard, in my opinion, I think it's such a big job with a team that wants to be top 4, but they're so far away from it. Off the field, so many issues, and a very inexperienced, unsuccessful manager. What does Frank Lampard achieve as a manager?
Fair. He did help Chelsea get
he did
in a year where they didn't have any transfers.
Yes.
Technically they did, but
he technically got the Champions League winning side. He constructed it. Technically,
but he also faltered.
Yes.
With that team.
Technically that was Marino.
Okay.
The sporting director.
Yeah. Yes. But you know what I'm
play
kind of
devil's
saying.
advocate. You could say some of the players that let Lampard down was big signs that he necessarily maybe didn't want.
Yeah.
But on the other end, you see what the Tuchel did right afterward in Champions League title. So
if Lampard takes the Everton job and actually can get a few wins going, Everton are a million miles away from climbing up that table. They have a decent squad. Not a great squad. Let me tell you, that squad has a lot of holes in it.
It should be a mid-table squad.
They sold, I think, the best player in their left back, Luca Digne, but hey ho.
If
Agent Rafa, what a job he did.
Let's go, Agent Rafa. Great job.
When Rafa got appointed at Everton, I thought that was terrible. I did not like it. It just didn't look right. It didn't seem right. It just never got going for him. And here we are, was it like 8 months after the appointment?
Not even 8 months.
No, not even, yeah. But Frank Lampard, if he can come in and get some wins going and get some energy going, fair enough.
Maybe
I just don't see it.
Maybe you can get the most out of some of the young players that are coming up, like Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
Like, there's been, I know Rafa kind of played some of them, and some of them provide more spark than some of the main veterans there. So maybe, like, Everton has always had decent players come out of their academy, so I don't see how that's going to change. And maybe some players can take this moment with the manager.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he hasn't been doing it. I mean, last season he was actually really good.
Injured a lot.
Yeah,
injuries has been bad. But
also something I'm right about.
You're right about?
If the man doesn't get the service, not eat the food.
There's an unhappy dog.
Unhappy dogs.
But
no scoring goals.
The last starting 11 that Everton put out against Aston Villa, where they lost 1-0. So let's go through the team and let's look at who you actually think is decent enough to play there. Jordan Pickford, you'd say on paper he's good enough. He's England goalkeeper.
He's a good
He can
goalkeeper.
piss people off, but
Yeah, back line was Ben Godfrey, Holgate, Mina, and Mr. John Joe Kenny. Now, as I've watched John Joe Kenny play, that man needs to get the fuck away from the Premier League. I don't know how he's conning a job in the Premier League, but
I
he's there.
remember when I watched England at the Under-20 World Cup where they actually won the tournament. He was starting there. He actually looked decent, but I guess he just hasn't really developed since then.
Yeah. Yari Mina, Mason Holgate, Ben Godfrey.
But Godfrey's good.
Godfrey's good. He's young still. He's
Holgate is
versatile. So
Holgate, maybe he can develop a bit better, but I'm not really sure about him.
They do have on the bench. They have Michael Keane. Seamus Coleman.
yeah.
And Mina's whatever.
I mean, you say Seamus Coleman is old. He's only 33.
It's pretty old.
You look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he's 36, 37.
That's Cristiano Ronaldo compared to Seamus Coleman.
Seamus Coleman's also played since he was a fetus. So, I mean, no. If we move into the midfield of that starting 11, you have Damari Gray, Andre Gomes, Doucouré, and Andros Townsend. Then up top, you have Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison.
It's
the midfield's average. It's what you get. It's not gonna be the most exciting thing, but sometimes it gets the job done. Sometimes
Damari Gray's had some good.
He's been okay.
I was about to say on.
Damari Gray's been okay, and 5 goals in 19 appearances. If we look at the 2 starting strikers, Richarlison's got 4 goals in 13, and Calvert-Lewin has 3 goals in 6. So that just shows.
I mean, injuries.
The lack of goal scoring. Yes, injuries, of course, but the lack of goal scoring is just.
Maybe a new manager is a good way to spark them and get going, though.
I just listened to Agent Rafa play Rondon more.
Yeah, big Solomon Rondon. I mean, he's got 1 goal. But yes, Anthony Gordon could be a player that gets a bit more involved. He's got 2 goals on the season. You have Allen in the midfield there. You could use a bit more.
That guy was such a good player for Napoli. Then he didn't get his move to PSG, and just kind of his career's kind of just like less than stalled, honestly. Kind of weird.
You look at that Everton team and you go, that's not a team that should be where they are in the table. They should be, quite frankly, mid-table.
It's a mid-table team. It's a mid-table team. I see it as a mid-table team.
It's
I see it as a mid-table to mid-table, depending on.
Well, that's kind of where they are then. I mean,
especially
mid-table and below mid, they are 16th.
Especially a player with someone like Richarlison on that team, who's a good quality player, but he's got a lot of
Real Madrid in the summer. I know Carlo Ancelotti was one that was causing those rumors, but he was being linked. But yes, Frank Lampard. Let's see what happens with that appointment, if that appointment does happen, which I'm sure it will, and we'll see how he does there. I think he can do a decent job. He has the players there to do it. Is he the man experienced enough
and
to
it's
control
like we
that
said, it's not
situation
confirmed yet either.
Yeah.
From where we are.
Well, I remember the other options are for Pereira, and Everton fans were so pissed. There's an Everton fan that vandalized somewhere saying Vitor Pereira out or something before he comes in, and apparently that he was very disappointed about fans' reaction to him. He said that he's still gonna try for the job.
You want to talk more Premier League? Well, I mean, we talk some transfers. Newcastle, they have not confirmed yet, but it looks very close to signing Bruno Guimaraes. I don't know. It's from Olympic Lyon. It should be a good signing for them. They're exciting. They have signed couple shit players. Chris Wood. Dan Burns being heavily linked right now. The Brighton center back.
The thing is, with signing in January, there's been lots of transfers, but it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy to get players away from their club in January.
Guimaraes should better be getting paid a ton of money because
I'm sure he is.
A weird move.
It is a weird move.
Because that's to be. I mean, maybe I'm obviously not the best at. I'm not analyzing talent like these top people at jobs like at Arsenal, things like that. But you think that'd be a player maybe Arsenal would consider, maybe Juventus, maybe
not Newcastle.
Yeah, but Newcastle are trying to establish themselves as a club, at least financially, that can fight with the big boys.
They're a team that's going to the championship right now.
Right now, yes. I'm just going through a couple of the
Luis
transfer
Diaz
rumors.
for Liverpool. Goal.
What?
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz,
From Porto to Liverpool. For completed 28 minutes.
Here we go.
No.
Oh.
They're preparing paperwork to complete the deal. Just final details and stuff like that. Supposedly, I don't know if it was £50 million move. I know
It's a lot for you guys.
I know it's 35
Where
million
the hell is
euros.
Fabrizio right now?
Italy.
Fucking like 4 a.m.
Honestly, I always tune into his live streams and they're absolutely fantastic. Just him sitting in a room, just on his phone, on his laptop. It's like, who does he have in the contacts list there? You know, Sorry, 50 million is a lot of money for Liverpool.
Well, I don't know if it's 50, what the exact fee. Like Fabrizio says, 40 million euros guaranteed fee plus 25 million bonuses.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy, I think he won the best player at the Copa America last season. Very exciting winger. I think it's great for Liverpool, especially with the aging squad that they're having. Like for Liverpool to replace like a Salah, Mane, those type of players, you're not gonna find like a like for like replacement for them because they're a very unique type of player.
Yeah,
it's more so you need to find a player that you can mold into
that kind of a player, a younger player. You're not just getting another player that's 30 that wants to go to Liverpool and that plays the same.
Does this mean Liverpool are expecting not to re-sign Mohamed Salah?
That's what I was saying.
I have no idea.
Because 40 million is a lot of money to spend, and then to pay Mohamed Salah 400,000 a week.
I don't know what Klopp's plan is. But Diaz is not.
He's not Mo Salah.
He's not left-footed. He's right-footed. I'm not really sure what the plan is. I know like Minamino and Origi could be leaving in the window.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting what shapes up. I'm excited about this transfer. I know. Not expecting any sparks right away because it happens with.
I mean, if this is the signing that triggers the end of Mohamed Salah at Liverpool, that opens up the whole conversation of where does he end up, where does he go.
That's another time though, because he's not leaving yet.
No, not leaving yet. It would be the end of the season, but
or end up the year after.
The year after, fair enough. So then. No, it's an interesting time for Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, though.
Well,
it's a transitional period. A lot of those players are starting to get to the end of their run.
Yep. The more that's frustrating for me is that they gave Henderson and you back in the summer after he. I don't know if this seemed like he complained to the media about it, and then got his contract, and now he has a long-term deal, making a lot of money, going into probably when he's 34 or 35, when he's some of his pace and effectiveness game, which is kind of frustrating. And Mo Salah, might be leaving. Like we've seen top attackers have it two different ways sometimes. We've seen Messi, Ronaldo, and Lewandowski. They keep good shape of their bodies. They play at a high level, even into their mid-30s. But then you also get guys like Aubameyang,
100%,
sign a new contract, get that massive bag, and then
just
really underperform afterwards.
Yeah.
I think Mo Salah would be of the former because I believe he is a motivated player. He has high ambitions and he would still perform well for Liverpool even into like 33, 34. Maybe you'd have to change how he plays a little. It would be really frustrating for me as a Liverpool supporter seeing Mo Salah leave the club either this summer or
but even the rest of your front three, I mean Sadio Mane and Firmino getting up there in age a little bit, maybe looking to move Firmino on, especially I think that's a guy that could be replaced in that starting 11. Midfield wise, I mean James Milner, although I think he could go forever, he does have an expiry date. He has to come to an end eventually. You're lucky your fullbacks and goalkeeper are still okay. Center backs, Virgil van Dijk's not 25.
No.
You know,
well, that's
Matt
why you have
as well.
Yeah, but that's why you have Joe Gomez and Konate.
Joe Gomez though has not played very much.
Yep, that is.
Is that a man that's going to be looking to? Because really, Joe Gomez can start in the Premier League. He should be starting in the Premier League. Does he go, hey, Aston Villa, give me a spot? You know,
maybe. I mean, I think Konate will eventually be started, whether that's next season or the after. And I think Virgil van Dijk, he can, as long like he's never really had big injuries. One with Southampton and he never really has like nagging injuries throughout a season that keeps getting him out of the lineup and then back in, then back out.
Kind of just a one-time thing.
Like and defenders, like look at Thiago Silva, obviously very intelligent defender, very old, but still performing one of the best in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's very true.
If Virgil can just
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Less mistakes. More intelligent.
Yeah.
It gets wiser as it age.
Use your game knowledge better. Get
Your
game
physical,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I know
I
I'm like
think-
sounding like a weirdo.
The
we
way-
know what you're saying.
I think the thing with Liverpool is, it's not that these players are coming to an end in 1 or 2 years. It's 3, 4, 5 years kind of thing. Like Henderson as well, you said. So it's when that Jurgen Klopp contract is up in 2023, 2024, that's the time when those players as well are going to be expiring as well. So the thing is,
Crazy to think.
does
yeah.
Jurgen Klopp go, new manager come in and have a job of just changing the entire team damn near?
Well, the goal of the Klopp extension was to transition.
Yeah,
So you have that transition ready for the next manager.
that's fair.
So
Who will
you-
be Steven Gerrard, by the way? Just it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
you know, if he continues to perform well, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I know I early in a different podcast I said like I at the same time don't want Steven Gerrard as
Yeah,
the manager
I remember you
because
saying that.
It can almost tarnish his reputation if it doesn't go well, right?
But-
Just like Frank Lampard at Chelsea.
yeah, but Gerrard has done a very good job, and if you look at Aston Villa already, his short time there,
Yeah,
he's already
been
attracting
fantastic.
good players to the club because of his reputation.
yeah, 100%.
So that's something that's really something to to watch out for.
Yeah.
Liverpool is a very interesting.
Well,
a very
they
interesting
have lots of
storyline.
young talent
do.
there too. I mean, you're still trying to get rid of some of our young talent, you son of a
Yeah,
bitches.
we want
but-
your guy.
Yeah, you want Fabio.
Yeah, apparently he'd be.
Harvey Elliott's coming back.
Yeah.
You got a big hug from Jurgen. Did you see that?
Yeah, another Fulham player.
Big hug. So I just want to get one transfer rumor that is interesting me a lot, actually. Southampton are being heavily reported to be interested in Dele Alli for £22.5 million. Second on this one.
Not sound like a Ralph
Give me
Hasenhuttl.
sport.
What?
I'm just reading
Give me
this
what?
one. It says give me sport.
Sport?
Give me sport.
Give me what the heck
That's
is that
just-
source?
That's what the source is.
Give me sport.
Give me sport. That's what
it says.
Don't yell at me.
A lot of
Talk
money for
Sport
Dele
reporter
Alli.
Alex Crook. Talk Sport.
Dele Alli used to be
Dele
pretty
Alli.
good, but
I don't-
yeah,
He's
these
fallen
days
off the face of the
that's
earth.
so much money for him.
He's lost so much motivation.
I wouldn't imagine him being a Hasenhuttl.
A little bit of pizzazz in that midfield. A little bit of spark. Other than James Ward-Prowse, who is one of my favorite players in the Premier League. I love you some James Ward-Prowse.
He's really good.
Some are interesting. Roja, he's been breaking out with
Yeah.
the Chelsea loanee. That'll be interesting if he goes back to Chelsea. Gets a permit.
Yeah.
But
And then if you go to Spurs though, sorry to like cut off of Southampton. Spurs been like Antonio Conte keeps saying like, oh, he wants reinforcements. He wants
They're
some
being
stuff
linked
in there.
with
Luis Diaz
as well.
failed.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of talk about Kulishevsky.
Yeah.
Because Antonio Conte he signed him. You know, he knows the guy that signed him. He's good friends with his agent, supposedly. Italian things.
Okay, fair enough.
But like Spurs, they've been trying to get Adama.
Yeah.
Apparently going to Barca.
Well, okay.
It's like confirmed
Because
that Barca.
Tottenham said to Adama, "Listen, we're gonna sign you and train, and then convert you to a right wing back."
I think right wing back. That's old.
But he wants to be an attacker. Okay, basically, all that.
Is that actually what the
Yeah.
case was? Oh.
Antonio Conte, all he wanted to do was make him the next Victor Moses. That's it.
I
Play right wing back.
I didn't know that
It is.
was like the
He's a
whole.
play right wing back, just bomb it. And you know what? I think he actually would have been great for him. I think he actually would have done a fantastic job at right wing back.
Imagine.
Use your pace, get up and down that flank, be physical defensively, and cross the ball into Harry Kane. It's a perfect match. Guy's gonna go fuck off to Barca, make a lot of money, and then we're just gonna forget about Adama Traore. He's just gonna be a baby oil merchant.
I mean,
I love Adama, and I'm so upset that he's no longer in the Premier League because I love watching him. I love just 75th minute, we're 1-0 down. Toss on Adama, run past every guy, then you get to 18-yard box and go, shit, what do I do now? I don't remember. But I miss him already. He's not even in Catalonia yet, and I miss the man.
I think it's a good move for Barca, more so just so they can have options of players that are like rapid and dribble.
Like they already signed a right back this window.
I'm gonna play right back at Barcelona.
But they signed Dani Alves.
They're not. That does nothing to do with that.
So does that mean that Sergino Dest? He got injured say.
Adama Traore is not playing right back at Barcelona.
But Sergino Dest was playing a right winger half the season.
A lot of people were playing right winger
because they don't have attackers, and they brought in attackers.
Like Barcelona, I know they've been playing this Elias, I think he's Moroccan, but like very tricky winger. But like there's been a lot of problems with Dembele, like if he's gonna sign a new contract, if he's gonna leave for free in the summer. So if you bring in Adama, I mean, I think Dembele is better than Adama, a lot of aspects, but
he's not injured. But yeah,
Adama probably doesn't get injured that much, and still provides that probably what Xavi wants as a wide winger that can dribble and get by a guy.
Yeah,
he's already been there though. It didn't work out.
I'm a fan. I'm a guy who says never go back, but the guy probably still loves the club and probably wants to prove himself.
Yeah, and I think it's fair that he wants to. It's just I just don't know if it's the right move for him.
I mean,
Tottenham would have been a good move for him if Nuno was still there. Bring the whole crew back together. But
not that Nuno was.
Yeah,
it's
Nuno
weird
was
to
there
think
for a
of.
while.
No, he wasn't.
He really wasn't there for
a little while.
It's weird to think that Antonio Conte just didn't take the initial job at Spurs, and he just has been at Spurs this entire time. It's weird to think of.
Antonio Conte is probably.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He can't get the transfers over the line, 100%. I mean, he's trying to build a team, actually get Tottenham relevant.
I mean, they've actually been pretty good this season.
They have been, but they need help.
Pretty good. They've been all right.
Been good under him.
And they just it's ridiculous that they can't get these. But I forget who it was that said it, but I think it was Roy Keane. He said, "There's no world-class players that are going to go to Tottenham. The list of clubs above Spurs is huge. There's 3 or 4 in the Premier League, 3 or 4 in Italy, 3 or 4 in Spain, couple in Germany that you would rather go to before you go, hey, Tottenham's available."
Well, the thing is,
does Antonio Conte
a little bit,
that, though?
But not
compared
enough,
to Nuno.
Not enough to attract anyone above Adama Traore.
At the end of the day, like how Spurs got their first success, they signed players that were not from the top team, but like teams from like Ajax, well now Ajax,
Southampton,
but yeah, like Ajax, Southampton, like middle of the road clubs at the time, and those players were coming off great seasons for those clubs.
Yeah.
But they weren't at the highest reputation at the time, and Spurs were able to get a good deal. Like some of the signings were like 8-12 million. Chris Eriksen was like 8 million. And they struck gold on one after another, after that awful transfer window fail.
Yeah.
They struck gold many times and were able to struck gold with another manager who was able to assemble the team to get to the pinnacle of a Champions League final and nearly won a Premier League title. Fortunately, things didn't go their way.
Then it dropped off, but
like they just need to be smart with their signings, and you also need luck that you can actually get it across the line and not have someone gazump you.
I mean, if Spurs can offload Dele Alli for 22 million, like that's I think that's a good deal for Spurs because
Dele Alli is just living off of his once upon a time. It's crazy. Speaking of those Spurs, they seem to have agreed a deal to let Lo Celso go out on loan to Olympique Lyon.
I know, and Ndombele is trying to
PSG.
Yeah, so
Maurizio misses him. But Maurizio's not going to be there for much longer. I'm telling you that.
It's been weird, honestly. And another you talked about Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen coming back to play, hey?
Yeah, he's been training with young Ajax.
Yeah, but he's looking to come back to the Premier League.
Yeah.
The Bees of Brentford want him, and I love it. I love that. Let's do it.
If he's able to play, then great. I think health is the most important thing.
Yeah. Take it easy, but I'd love to see him playing again. So
remember when Tottenham signed that Brian Gill in the summer? It was a whole big kerfuffle.
That's going on.
Now they're going to loan him out to Valencia. The guy was here for 6.5 minutes. Tottenham, get your shit together, please. You know what team?
They don't need to get their shit together. They just have Bergwijn scoring 2 game-winning goals.
He was about a day away from being loaned out to Ajax. Comes on, scores 2 goals within the last Not even the last 5 minutes because it was injury time 5 minutes. And then they're like, hey, guess what? You can stay now. Good job.
The second is actually such a nice goal, honestly.
You want to know a team, though, that is also a bit of a mess? They're North London rivals, Arsenal.
They've had a awful
Oh,
transfer.
boy, they're having a bad time.
Vlahovic doesn't want to go to them.
No. Their captain, well, ex-captain at this point, Mr. Aubameyang, needs to get out of that club.
Well, apparently Barca and Juventus are interested.
Yeah, it's
on a loan.
It's like, what the hell? What is going on at Barca? Has just been like.
Well,
they
want Barcelona won Morata. Atletico Madrid technically own Morata, who's on loan at Juventus.
Yeah.
And they don't want to loan him to Barcelona unless they get a transfer fee. Barcelona don't want to spend money. And then Juventus don't need Morata because they got Vlahovic.
It's
such a mess.
But then again, they could use another striker. Like Morata isn't going to be the number one anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if he leaves, then they need another option. I mean, could be that option.
They did one good piece of business. They let Kolasinac leave. That's the best thing. They let Callum Chambers go as well. That's actually okay business. But then after that, Arsenal they signed the American goalkeeper. Fucking great. I'm so proud of you. Other than that, they're linked with Arthur. That's not happening. They were linked with Wijnaldum. That's not happening.
That's probably for the better.
It probably is, actually. But there's just... That team is a mess. It's so bad. But in the table, they're doing all right. I mean, they're in 6th. They're still above Spurs. They're doing okay.
They've had some good performances. I know they tied Bird. A lot of fans.
Terrible game.
But they also did play very well against Manchester City earlier in the month, but they also haven't won here.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's see when the last win was. Let me take a look.
They got knocked out of the FA Cup by Nottingham
Yes,
Forest.
they did.
They've like drawn matches, lost matches. Most ideal month. I don't know if they lost to Liverpool in the Carabao Cup.
Speaking of, I want to talk about the
last win was December 26th, like 5-0 win over Norwich.
Easy. So they haven't gotten a win in January.
That's pretty sad.
But they've only played 2 Premier League games. The rest have
but he's just saying in general.
They lost in the cups.
That sucks to be them.
In the cup final, let's go.
What were you going to talk about?
Oh, I just want to say, speaking of cup finals, if you go to Fulham, I swear to frickin' God, we always get Manchester City. I think it's happened in the past, 5 years. Every year. I swear. It just, maybe not, I don't think it was last year, but, I don't know if there's a way to actually look at that, but, holy shit, every time I just see
FA
Fulham
Cup you got them in?
and the Carabao Cup. But yes, just now, yes, we got
them in the Carabao Cup this season?
No.
I know, last season.
But
yeah, that happened, and then again in the FA Cup. It's happened so many times. It's like there's all these teams in England, and you're telling me we got to get the best one?
Manchester City, though,
pisses me off.
They are just very good at winning the FA Cup.
They're all right. They're not number
one. They're better
at
the Carabao. The Carabao Cup's is the Manchester Trophy at this
point.
Not this year.
But it basically is. But do you think you could give them a game in the FA Cup?
Fulham?
You've scored ridiculous amounts of goals.
It's against championship players.
Fair enough. But City's not going to play their full starting 11.
Depends if Fulham, what kind of game fixtures we have. When is the next FA Cup?
City
after
will
the
not,
international break, I believe.
City will not play their full starting 11. You can come out, score a goal or two.
City's 4th team is probably better than...
I hear you. I completely hear you.
City's 4th team could probably beat some of the Premier League teams.
Not Celtic that one year. We did not lose to them. We were the first team that Pep Guardiola could not beat as City manager. Woo. Because he played Fernandinho at center back, and that really helped.
Scott's influencing English football once again.
Yep.
Oh my God. But I had to get that little rant out.
I started this podcast wanting to talk about Canada. We have yet to talk about Canada.
The time now?
I mean, it's a fantastic result. Canada 2-0 over Honduras.
The USA game is going to happen by the time it's out.
Yeah.
Either let's go,
or it's going to be...
Did you hear what they're calling the stadium this time? When it was here in Edmonton, it was the Azteca because we were playing Mexico.
Yeah.
The game's being held in Hamilton. Their stadium is called Tim Hortons Field.
Yeah.
They're calling it the Ice Cap. They actually are legit calling it hashtag ice cap because it's supposed to be like minus 16 in Hamilton and snowy. So that disgusts me. But at the same time, it's kind of funny.
It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be a very tough game, especially without Fonzie.
Do you think belief is a little bit lower for this game than it was against Mexico?
Why?
Because of the injuries, because of
Not see the guys after the game against Honduras.
No, 100%. And I think this team is very much a team, and they are together. They believe in themselves 100%. I think the coach has instilled fantastic belief into every player involved in the team. Like, there's not a single name involved in the squad that cannot come in and do a job. It's actually fantastic to see a starting 11, a bench, and a reserves that are actually capable of influencing the side. But I just don't know if Canada has the legs to beat the U.S.
I know this is like we say
don't
this
know.
will come out after the game. I could really see this being a draw.
That'd be great for Canada.
It would.
That'd
Though.
be perfect.
I mean, we always want to win, but
I think I was watching Jimmy Conrad. He was previewing the game, and he thinks it's going to be a draw, either like 0-0 or 1-1. He thinks that Canada are very difficult to break down because obviously play with the 5-back systems.
and Borjan's been
Borjan's been
really
good.
good
The
against
3
Honduras.
defenders, they usually like stand in a line, like never really moving. Usually like the wingbacks or midfielders who are like pressing and running around, making sure bases are closed down, and if a ball goes to the box, a defender can get to it. And Canada are very good on the counterattack.
Yeah.
Very good on the counterattack.
Lots
And
of
it's
pace going
something
forward.
that needs to be watched for when they play the USA, because the USA wingbacks like to push up a lot.
Yeah.
And the USA probably should have conceded a goal after when Anthony Robinson pushed way too high up the pitch, and
He likes to do that.
they played the ball in behind him, and El Salvador were this close from taking the lead.
Yeah. It's going to be a fantastic. I wish I was able to watch it live, but it's going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't want to say I have doubts, but I'm definitely nervous about it.
The worry that I have with Canada is set pieces. Is like when they have
they seem to have been able to concede a lot of set pieces and then like not be able to win that first header.
Like Lucas was saying, like they have a good structure on the field, but like when those set pieces happen, something just seems to go off. Like I swear, I'm scared every time the other team has a corner.
Yep, I mean that's something Conrad mentioned, and he's hoping that USA can finally score a set piece against Canada.
Yeah, so
Borjan, though, I think Borjan was my man of the match for that game against Honduras. His 2 or 3 incredible saves right before the Jonathan David goal. He made a huge save to keep Canada ahead 1-0. It goes 1-1. You know, that tie changes, and that game could have ended 1-1 or a 2-1 loss. You never know. But no, Canada has a great team, and I don't want to take anything away from that team because, quite frankly, this is the best we've ever seen, and let's just enjoy it while it's here.
We're so close.
Yeah,
we are so close.
It also helps a lot that Panama lost.
Panama.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
So now Canada are 5 points ahead of Panama,
Yeah.
4th place, which is the playoff spot.
It's like Greg said when we were doing our stream on Twitch that the top 4 are starting to distance itself a little bit.
Well, if Panama beat Costa Rica,
if they had beaten,
then it would have been very distant.
It would have been very distant, but now Panama,
Costa Rica are still definitely within a shout
Costa Rica,
to.
Jamaica still has a chance.
If Jamaica had finished the job against Mexico, man, they would have been in the conversation. They were there.
And if that happened, like we're even closer just to guaranteeing the World Cup. I'm still confident we will make it.
I'm confident we will qualify. I'm not confident we will get first.
I mean, that doesn't really
It
matter
doesn't
at
matter
the end
exactly.
of the day.
Just get to the show 100%.
Where it does matter is FIFA World Rankings might actually take a little bit into effect of
Look,
that.
if Canada are making a World Cup, they're not going to be in pot 1 or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're going to get a
They'll
tough
be pot
team in
4.
their
They'll
group.
be pot 4.
Probably. Maybe lucky if they get pot 3, depending on how they.
That's what we'd hope. They went up a lot, and yeah, I mean it's still a long ways away, but we can always
enjoy
hope.
it while it's there.
Exactly.
Is there any other conversation topics you want to talk about Canada or anything else? Anything happening in your lives recently that you want to speak about?
Me and Lucas both got COVID.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What do you want to talk about? I mean, that's what I was saying.
You guys both. You guys.
He was on vacation while we were both sick.
Because did you both get it after the game?
No, I got it like first, and then Greg got it like a week later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But how has it affected you? And I mean that, I say that like I did, but I actually genuinely question, how does getting it affect you, whether physically or mentally?
I think I was fine I mean, I think but I like physically, like I didn't really feel super sick. Like I was coughing a lot. I had some chest pain. I initially had like headache, stuffy, like that. But then after like a few days, like I was it's just like the cough and pain whenever I woke up, which ended way later in the day. But like I was able throughout the whole time, I was able to like work on stuff on my computer like that. I wasn't ever bedridden. I was thankful for, but I also like don't enjoy coughing, and sometimes when I'm speaking for periods, I cough a lot afterward. I'm still feeling effects after I've recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Coughing, like coughs occasionally, like I mentioned, speaking a cough a bit, and like after our men's match, Woody,
Yeah, I struggled.
like after the game, I did feel some chest pain, but then going to bed and waking up, I felt more sharp chest pain, and I'm match.
Mm-hmm. Just like it was like the first actual workout your lungs had gone.
Well,
since.
I had a workout, like I did run on a treadmill for like 20 minutes or 5 days earlier, but it wasn't as intense as like up and down in the field.
Yeah. Gregory,
yeah.
how are you affected?
I mean, I had pretty similar. I got it like a week. When did you actually get it?
Well, I first felt symptoms on like Saturday or Sunday. Like
I think you literally had it like a week before I did, like exactly a week before, and
I got like symptoms like 8th or 9th of January.
Yeah, so literally like a week before.
I like got it like earlier that week.
And so I basically the same thing as like Lucas was saying. I had all those symptoms, and I was bedridden on the day of that. Like that, I was actually it was like the Saturday, and it's not like I just kind of didn't have anything to do, so I just kind of stayed in bed because why not? Yeah. And I don't know. It just felt weird being. It felt weird being sick.
Yeah,
I haven't been sick in so long, and that was kind of why. And the coughing was not great. It is a flu, and
it felt like a flu. It felt like a flu. I was shocked I did not get COVID. Let me tell you, I was fully expecting to come home and feel something.
I partially thought he wouldn't be able to get back.
So I went to Mexico, and when I was in, I gotta give the hotel credit. The hotel did everything they could to do the best. All the staff had masks on. You had to have a mask on to order drinks at a bar or talk to any of the waiters or anything. You had to put your mask on. Social distancing, I mean, kind of. I mean, the pool chairs were spaced out a little bit, but when you're in the pool, you're on the beach, you can't really do anything about that. So when I was there, it wasn't too bad, but coming home at airports,
yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want to. How was like the airports like coming back for? So you had to test.
So we got tested at the hotel. It'd be 2 days before your flight leaves. Okay. So we get your negative results. You're good to fly. Perfect.
2 days before. That seems kind of
yeah. You have to. It's 48 hours before your flight. You have to get tested.
What if you get it in between? That?
Well, that's what I was.
That's what I'm like. What?
That's what I was. So 2 days, 48 hours. You get tested. We tested negative. Great. So then going to the airport, because you had to have proof of your vaccination. You had to have proof of your negative test. There was an app you had to download called Arrive Canada that had all your medical information, everything kind of on it. So I was like, okay, got all that. There was paperwork you had to fill out declaring that you were feeling okay and this and that. So I was expecting to have to present all of this to somebody somewhere. No. So in Cancun, to check in for our flight to fly back home, the guy took a look at my negative test, but he was so zoomed in on the thing that said like negative that he didn't look at the name that was on it. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So we get put on the plane. Everything's all good. Then I was like, okay, going through Canadian customs is going to be a lot more strict. Nothing.
People just don't care.
The Arrive Canada app had all this information and a QR code. I was like, okay, they'll scan it. No, lady she goes, do you have the thing downloaded? Here, great, good enough. All right, cool. Next guy, do you have your negative test? Here, great, cool. On the next guy, I was like, there's nothing. I'm just walking through. Like, I didn't even wait in line, and I just walked through. I was like,
to be fair, if you left a country, you'd probably have that.
I was expecting a lot more actually like looking and questions, this and that. I was like, even something as simple as, where did you go in Mexico? What did you do in Mexico? No, customs just didn't care. Just get it. I mean, it was
They just trying to get by.
It was midnight. I was tired. I wanted to go home. It was a long day. Check out the hotel at like 11 in the morning. Stayed in the lobby for about an hour and a bit. Had a few more drinks because why not? They're free. Then we got our bus to the airport, checked in. What did we eat? We had Johnny Rockets burgers and shakes. You know what? There we go. It's like an old school like diner vibe, but they're better in the U.S. because actually they have a diner. This is just an airport one. It's kind of shit, but whatever. But yeah, flight was okay, kind of boring. Listen to the Footy Prime podcast, and I was like, I got nothing else to do. I'm just gonna sit here now. No screens, nothing. But yeah, I'm alive.
Not to get COVID, but at the same time, I'm glad that I
got it out of the way.
But also
you can tell your children you survived a pandemic now.
Yeah, but also I'm still feeling some effects from it, which sucks.
Yeah, he feels effects, and he got it after or before me, and
I'm just thankful that it's not like as bad as other people who've had bad effects from it.
Yeah,
have like ear chest pain or like literally can't like walk a block without feeling tired.
Yeah.
Or like the smell. I said that's old COVID, not Omicron, but like the smell that would mess me up. If I couldn't smell or taste things, I'd get physically violent.
I was bad. Like our game, so like when I ran out for like a minute, like, and I was dead.
See, it's interesting as
like my chest pain.
Like being a goalkeeper, yes, I'm on the field the entire time, but I'm trying to focus on different things, so I don't notice if someone's not played for like 2 or 3 shifts. Like, because you said you're like, oh, I didn't play. I was like, I mean, you didn't play, but I think I actually didn't see Greg out there for about half the game. Yeah. But in the time, I'm like, I don't notice it at all.
That's fair.
I only notice when Waz is on the pitch. No offense to Waz, I love the kid so much. Sometimes it scares me. Sometimes like, oh, okay, mental note, Wazinho's there. Pay attention. Make sure he knows where he's going and what he's doing. Wazinho, shout out to him. He does his thing.
Matt was like very aggressive with Waz after the.
Oh, was he?
He's like gave him a coaching,
a one-on-one coaching.
I think aggressive one.
He was actually.
Did he tell him to close down before the man shoots?
Yes.
Well,
he's saying like the defense just should be doing that in general. Like,
yeah, sometimes it's scary. There's just like the wide open field up there. Like, okay, this is a goal. It's gonna stand here, but no. Anything else you want to talk about, or should we wrap this one up?
I don't know. We had a lot of football.
This will be a good podcast. It's good to be back. How long are we back for? Who knows? Hopefully more consistent. Hopefully more regular.
Not promise anything ever because
we don't promise.
Listen, our vacations are done. The 2 of you already got COVID. You should be good now. Should be good. School, well, that's what it is. Work is what it is. Hopefully, though, majority of the obstacles that have been put in front of us have been hurdled.
No promises.
No promises. No promises.
Let's just see what happens.
Hopefully, we'll be here next week for another podcast.
But that's kind of where we've been. That's where the 90th minute's been. We've been gone for a bit. We did stream. So as we're recording this, we streamed yesterday, which was nice. And
yeah, but hoping that we get back on the Twitch streams, you get back on the YouTube, you get back on the podcast, all that stuff. But like Luke said, we're not going to promise anything. We're just going to be there. Make sure you're following the social media so that way you can see when things get uploaded, when things are happening. That way you can stay up to date with the channel, what's happening. But let's wrap this up. It's been great sitting and talking again. I really enjoyed it. I've missed it.
Yeah.
I've missed it.
It's been fun, yeah.
But from the three of us and Waz and Brett and Rasta and whoever else at this point in time, thank you for watching, listening. Been yet another week in the beautiful game. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.